What is up, my good people? We are back again. Of course, I'm your boy Marlo. My number one partner right there, Danny B, better known as Pretty Boy Danny. Y'all all know him. Y'all all know him. Guys, listen. We got something that we want you to hear from Rachel Maddow tonight, okay? Rachel Maddow kind of breaks it on down, how these tariffs got started, how much damage that is doing to the economy and to the world, all because of why? One man. One man. And like Danny was talking to me about, imagine if that was Obama. Imagine if that was Biden doing what Donald Trump is doing right now to this economy. Okay, check it out. We're gonna play this video for you guys, and on the flip side, we're gonna give you guys our opinion on it. And I really want y'all to listen to Danny when we come back, because Danny's a smart guy when it comes to all these kind of tariffs and military and all that kind of stuff. So I want you guys to pay attention to what Danny really has to say when we get back. So we're gonna check out this video, guys, and of course we're gonna talk about it on the flip side. All right, if that's cool with y'all, let's go.
With such a teeny tiny amount of thought. Right, you'd think it would take like a grand plan and some big brains to figure out how to destroy the economy of the richest nation on earth. But that's not how it's working out. Turns out it doesn't take a big idea or a lot of big brains working together. I know that this may be something that you remember, but just in case it's not, I'm just going to put this back on the front page here just for a second. Because do you remember where Trump got the tariff thing from in the first place? Do you remember like when and why and how we started talking about tariffs in the first place? It was in his first campaign for president. Trump didn't really have any formal economic advisors. So he told his son-in-law, Jared, to find him an economic advisor. Trump reportedly gave Jared some vague ideas of what his thoughts were on economic issues. You know, something, make me look tough, China bad, something. Jared then decided to find his father-in-law a financial advisor for his presidential campaign by going on the Amazon.com website and starting to browse books. Not like reading the books, because you can't do that on the Amazon website. He was just looking at the covers, looking at the titles. And he found a book title that he thought was so cool. The title was Death by China. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's so awesome. And that apparently was it. Quote from Vanity Fair. Trump gave Jared a summary of his views and then asked him to do some research. Kushner simply went on Amazon, where he was struck by the title of one book, Death by China, co-authored by a man named Peter Navarro. Jared then cold called Navarro, a well-known trade deficit hawk who agreed to join the team as an economic advisor. Navarro was a major advocate for an aggressive pro-tariff policy. Where did Peter Navarro get his idea that tariffs would be a good policy for America? What was his backup for that conviction? Well, he did have backup from a real expert who he cited in at least a half dozen of his books, including the one that Jared found on Amazon that fateful day. In all of his books, Peter Navarro has cited an economics expert to justify his views. And the economics expert he cites is somebody named Ron Vera, V-A-R-A, Ron Vera. When Trump won the presidency and entered the White House, this Ron Vera started circulating a memo around Washington in support of Trump using tariffs in trade policy. According to the New York Times, the memo had been, quote, sent from an email address purportedly belonging to Ron Vera. At one point, Ron Vera wrote in the memo that Trump could, quote, ride the tariffs to victory. Problem is, Ron Vera doesn't exist. He never has. The economics expert that Peter Navarro has long cited to explain why he's so gung-ho on tariffs, this person, Ron Vera, is a made-up person. He is a fictional person. Peter Navarro invented Ron Vera as his expert source so he could quote this expert source over and over and over again in his crackpot books. Who is Ron Vera? Ron Vera is an anagram of Navarro, which is his last name. I mean, my name anagrams to Macho Waddler, but I don't see myself trying to talk you into doing what Macho Waddler wants, right? But that really is how the Trump administration crafted its tariff policy. That's where Trump came up with the tariff idea. Circulating a fake memo from a fake person with a fake email address in order to make it look like this was a serious issue being debated by real experts. That is the intellectual basis on which Donald Trump today wiped $6 trillion of wealth out of existence and crashed America's markets and brought America and the world to the brink of a self-inflicted, on-purpose, global Great Depression along the lines of what we had in 2008 and what the pandemic inflicted upon us in 2020. This time, the global disaster is Donald Trump's big brain. And Donald Trump may think it's all going to work out. The American people are awake and well aware that this is not going to work out. New Reuters Ipsos polling, to which I would like to bring your attention.
Danny, did you hear what that woman said? Rachel Maddow.
Not only did I hear it, I'm gonna help the cultists out. Okay, I'm gonna do something for the cultists and the MAGA. I'm gonna do something for you. There is actually a Ronald. Hold on. This is for you, MAGA, so that y'all can understand that we check what we say. All right. There's an actual Ronald T. Vera, Esquire, who's an attorney for civil rights. I didn't mean to scream like that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But MAGA, come on. The Ron Vera that he's talking about is Navarro. Yes, it is. It's an anagram, and it is proven. Okay, proven. All right, I was able to look this up, y'all. This is the one thing that we do when we say we fact check everything. And this is for you, MAGA. This is for you, cultists. This is for you, Donald J. Trump. Your boy used his own name, in which Mr. Navarro is not an economist. Okay, he wrote a book. He's not an economist. I just pulled it up. I just looked it up, y'all.
But this is who Trump is listening to, Danny. This is who Trump is listening to.
That's the reason why I'm explaining this to MAGA, so that MAGA can hear this, so they don't know that we're like, we ain't just popping off at the mouth. We're sitting here telling you something because not only did Rachel Maddox find this, but it's like, when you can pull this up on the internet, and okay, we know internet is popular. The first 3 things you pull up on Google is usually the most popular things pulled up. But if you scroll down and you keep on scrolling and you still find the same thing over and over and over again, guess what is true, y'all? I am so sorry, MAGA, but your president is doing tariffs off of a made-up person from someone that wrote a book on Amazon that his stepson found. Just like Rachel Maddow said, this is all true.
You can't make this up, Danny.
So go ahead, MAGA. Y'all want to sit back and say that we wrong for what we're talking about? Y'all want to say we're wrong? Sorry, I'm trying to get this light on the other side of my face so everybody can see me. But y'all want to say we're wrong for what we're talking about? But oh my goodness, I sat back and I listened to it, and everybody needs to check the whole thing out. What Rachel Maddow says, because this is the one thing. Well, before I get deep into it, because we're gonna delve. This is a nice topic we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna delve into some more stuff because we got some more proof for you. But Marlo, go ahead, man. Because wow, a fake name, a fake person, off of a real person who's not an economist.
Danny, I'm not usually the one to be lost for words. Okay. I'm not usually the one to be lost for words, Danny Brown. But when I heard that story from Rachel Maddow and she proved what she was saying and everything, I'm like, you got to be shitting me. This cannot be true. You mean to tell me the president of the most powerful country in the world has an advisor advising him off of a made-up fictional person, took that advice, and has ravaged, whatever word you want to use, our economy. $4 trillion wiped out of the stock market, Danny, in a week. I'm gonna repeat that to you again in case you didn't hear me. 4 trillion with a T wiped out, all because Donald Trump put a man in his ear that didn't know what he was talking about, and to sound good in front of Donald Trump, made up a fictional character and did this to our country. Did this to everyday working Americans' 401k plans, their retirement plans. Everybody is losing right now. Everybody but Donald Trump and Elon Musk and people like that. They're billionaires. They can stand this hit.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they're losing big. Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, what's the other one, Danny? The other Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook guy. Those guys combined has lost $2 trillion. Go back and look at Donald Trump's inauguration. Look who's standing behind him.
Elon Musk,
Zuckerberg. I don't know if Bezos was there. I don't know if Warren Buffett
was there.
I don't know about Warren Buffett. Don't know if he was there or not. But it's the billionaires that was backing Donald Trump. Now they all turned against Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you something, Danny, what amazed me. I actually saw Ted Cruz come out and say something against the tariffs. I never thought in life I would hear Ted Cruz, the man who let Donald Trump talk about his wife to his face, actually growed some balls, Danny, and said something about the tariffs. Said tariffs are a tax hike on American people. These protests, it was a protest today or yesterday. Protest yesterday all around the country. I think it was hands off protest or something, where they saying hands off Social Security, hands off everything that Doge was trying to do. And then the turnout was spectacular. You hear me? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people turned out for this protest. Now you actually have a few GOP senators coming out against Trump and his tariffs. They're trickling out. It's going to happen because now
it's burning me, man. It's burning me.
Now the donors who's putting money into these politicians' pockets is starting to get on these Republicans about these tariffs because they're losing money now. That's why they're coming out now against that. You understand what I'm saying? And Danny, I know you is on fire over there. So, hey, look at, man, I'm going to turn it over there to you because I don't want that fire from the top of your head to jump on my screen and burn my computer up.
Dog. Oh, my God. I don't know where to start. Okay, so I'm sorry, people, if I'm yelling, but this is the thing that is cracking me up. So before I get into the whole thing, I mean, I got a lot of things to say about, if trouble is following you or if trouble is floating around, and you got a whole bunch of people making excuses, but there's trouble constantly floating around, there might be something you're doing. All right. So let's see. So we're talking about the stock market, right? So we're gonna first touch on the stock market because if y'all ain't seen it, the stock market has gone into a almost crashing point in 2 days. It's gotten to the point where the stock market almost had to save itself. So Rachel Maddox will say it and everything. There's a 7% loss that if the stock market goes into this major 7% loss, that it will turn around and it will shut down for 15 minutes just so it can reset itself. Mm-hmm. The stock market almost did that. It almost crashed to reset itself.
That's not good.
Twice. Now, I'm talking about twice. There may be more than that. But as we know, and it's proven, you can look this up. We're not yanking your chain, y'all. We're telling you the truth. The stock market is dropping. Okay, so I posted it that, I did something sarcastically and I said, hey, we did it. We did something that ain't been done in history since almost 95 years, which, quote, is true. That the stock market is it's on a constant decline, and people have lost money since the inauguration of President Trump. Mm-hmm. And no other president has done that. No other president has done that. since it's been close to 100 years since another president has done something like this. All right. So, um, what is he, the 45th and the 47th president? Basically, he's going down in history as the worst president. When everybody wants to say it. But you got somebody want to argue me, and it's like, well, guess what? Interest rates are going to go low. The one thing I will say, yes, interest rates are going to go low, and I'm going to tell everybody, hey, be smart. Be smart. If you have something in the stock market, don't pull it. Wait. But if you don't have something in the stock market, wait till it goes to its extreme low and then buy into it, because it's going to go up. The stock market will go up. But let's talk about these tariffs. Because somebody wanted to educate me on tariffs, and I'm like, I'm over here messing with my big, everybody talking about me in my big old head, so I must have a big brain. But let's talk about these tariffs. Okay. So, and we're just going to talk about China, because that's what Navarro, Ron, what's his name? Ron what?
Navarro, something like that.
It's Ronald T. Vera is saying that if you put a tariff on these countries and everything like that, okay, so this is the one thing with China. Let's go with China for instance, because I guarantee you, walk around your house and count up how many things you got made in China versus how many things you got made in the USA.
Good point.
All right, so we're gonna sit back and we're gonna be like, hey, for everything that we're sending y'all and everything that we're doing, we're going to sit back and charge y'all 25% tariffs. Okay, China. Guess what China did? They said we're gonna put 34 on you. So 25% on 143 million. I'm sorry, 25%. Yes, 25% on 143 million versus 34% on 443 billion. Which do you think is the most? It's easy, y'all. Simple math.
Common sense.
We're going to pay more. Oh, but somebody wanted to say, guess what, y'all? If he puts these tariffs, that means it's going to bring, industries back into the United States.
No, it's not.
Now, number one, industry left. Why? Because the workforce that was in the industry that was building things like Ford, building cars, GMC, everything that was building cars in the United States and everything that was doing it, all the people that were working there aged out. And the people behind them was becoming doctors, lawyers. We got a lot of lawyers. We got a lot of, in this generation, teachers and everything like that are doing things. They're not going back into that industry because that industry was already full. So you had to go find other jobs. So guess what? You have to rebuild the generational gap for the industrial workers. But if you're building it, because guess what? He wants to sit back and sell citizenship for $5 million. So he's over here selling citizenship. You got people coming in this country, learning a trade, going back into their country, China, and working in those shops. So while everybody's flipping out, there's sweatshops over in China, the same thing was already here, but we farmed it out because we already educated them over there. Mm-hmm. So how long do you think? What makes you think, people, MAGA, everybody that wants to say, what makes you think that we're going to have this, all of a sudden, we got a whole bunch of industrial workers? I'm sorry, but I did 30 years in the military, and we're talking about my generation and generations after me.
Right.
I did 30 years in the military. I'm hurting. My back hurts. My body hurts. There's a lot of things. I guarantee you, people at 50, we're not ready to work in no industry. What about the people at 30 and 20 and everything like that? Are they ready to work in that industry? No, they're not.
Nope.
They're over here. You're going to tell me you're fixing to grab a whole bunch of content creators, Instagram models, and everybody like that to go work in a Ford factory, to go work in a Nike factory, to go work in a GMC factory that's already in the other country. Please tell me what board is going to sit back and be like, we don't have anybody to work over here, but we still got people working over there. Why are they going to bring it back? Why will they bring it back, people? They're not going to do it. So these tariffs, that's supposed to bring back a whole bunch of things to the United States, it's going to take years to get that industry up and going. That industry was already here because everybody was educated previously in the 1950s and the 1960s. That's what they wanted to do. You had a whole bunch of black people that are doing it, but black people are smart now. So I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen. So that's the thing on the tariffs. So while we're over here thinking that, oh, it's not gonna cost us, yes, it is. When more than half of everything that's in any household in the United States is made in China, made in Taiwan. This is where it's made, and that's where all the industry is. So what company is going to bring them back with nobody to work?
Well, Danny, you hit the nail on the head. I told y'all guys, Danny know about this kind of stuff, man. And what he said, go back and fact check him, because you're going to find out exactly what he said.
Please fact check me. Yes, go ahead. You can.
Is exactly what time it is. So listen, y'all. And I try to tell my Republican, me and Danny know Republican people who voted for Trump, you know, that this stuff, everything what's going on right now is hurting and touching and reaching every single American, every one of us. You understand what I'm saying? Every one of us who's not a millionaire or a billionaire, that is. Put it that way. So I want y'all guys to really, especially my MAGA voters, my Trump voters, pay attention and listen to really what we said to you guys tonight. Where Donald Trump got his idea to do what he's doing to this country from a made-up fictional character. Imagine that. Think about that for a second. This man has wiped out trillions of dollars in the stock market from a economic advisor who don't know what he was talking about, and it was so bad, his idea, he had to make somebody up to try to pass it off to Donald Trump.
Yep. And guess what else Donald Trump did? Y'all remember his True Social stock? Y'all remember that, right? A couple of days ago, he sold $2.3 billion in stock. 2.3.
Hush your mouth.
He sold it. I'm sorry, not billion, millions. He sold his stock before the stock market started crashing. Does that sound like insider trading? Does that sound like insider trading to anybody?
If that ain't insider trading, Danny, let me tell you something. I'm not dark skinned, and let me tell you something, Dan. I'm black as night. The other damn night when I'm
not light skinned. If that ain't insider trading, I'm not light skinned.
Danny, listen. I'm gonna tell you. The other day when the lights went out, the storm. You remember I was talking to you and I told you my lights was out.
Yeah.
If Trump didn't have insider information, Danny, I promise you. When I just told you I'm not dark skinned, Danny, when them lights went out the other day, you couldn't see nothing but my damn big ass eyes standing in the middle of the hallway like that. You understand what I'm saying? Hey man, listen to this.
Yo, I mean, I thought Martha Stewart went to jail for this.
She did. She did. Man,
interesting.
Listen, guys.
If Obama would have done half of the stuff or a third of what is going on that Donald Trump would have done, I think, man, we wouldn't have had those 8 years. And oh my God, you remember that graph that she put up?
You talking about the graph that Trump put up with the tariffs on
the graph that shows like the peaks in the stock market and when it started crashing.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember the longest peak?
Which one was
the longest peak was from 2008 to like 2020 or 2010 to 2020. Who was in office? Obama. The longest gap to where you did not have a crazy peak. Before Obama, there was a big peak. After Obama, there was another big peak. And before Obama, I can't remember who was president. Yeah, I mean, I should know this, but sorry, I'm not thinking about it right now. But after Obama, Trump went in office, and there was the next peak. And then all of a sudden, Trump is out of office. There's no peaks. But then when Trump is back in office and his tariffs, another peak. Come on, people. Come on, man. This is not rocket science, y'all.
It's not.
The stats are there. Everything is there. If he wants to blame Obama, he wants to blame Biden. But all the trouble that's happening twice is with you, Donald Trump, while you was in office. You, MAGA, while your president was in office. We had two peaks. And I'm sorry, when I say peaks, these are when it's an economical crash. It's almost an economical crash because of what's going on. When COVID happened, 2019, 2020, things crashed. And now tariffs, things are crashing. These are the last two times, and they were very close. The other time before that was well before 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So come on, people. This is not rocket science, as you cultists. This is not.
Guys,
It doesn't take much to figure this out.
listen, people. We got to get a hold of this, man. You see the hole that we're digging in. And what's the one thing we learned about if you're in a hole? What's the first thing we do? Stop digging.
Stop digging.
Stop digging. Stop letting this man dig us deeper and deeper into this hole because we're already headed for a recession. We're already headed for a recession. It's coming. Now, we mess around and get into a depression, then we're really in trouble. But listen, think about what me and Danny said to you guys tonight. Look at that video. Go back, rewind. Look at it 2 or 3 times if you have to. Listen to what Rachel Maddow said. Listen to what we said, guys. And seeking you make it make sense. You're not gonna be able to make it make sense either, guys. So listen.
Nope.
With that being said, just like we always say at the beginning of the video, guys, listen.
Before we close out, I want to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to put this out there. And this deals with the Social Security. I know a lot of people are in fear and everything like that, but something came out in the report that made sense, and I checked it and checked it and checked it. Now, don't get me wrong. Elon Musk does not deserve to be doing Doge and what he's doing in things, but there was something recognized, and nobody has said nothing about it, but something was recognized in his Social Security report. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of families getting scammed. Okay, and they're not scammed by, sad to say, well, I don't know if it's sad to say, but everything, but they're not scammed by Elon Musk. They're being scammed by a whole bunch of scammers. And, he caught something, and this is about the only good thing that he ever caught. But other than that, the man should not be doing what he's doing. But if you have family members that are on Social Security, you have somebody that's on Social Security, get up, stand up, stop the person that scammed them from taking their money. Set up your accounts. And I've been trying to research how to filter this out and how to make sure it goes right and everything. But make sure when you talk to your banks and you talk to Social Security, you get authentication. And then tell your grandparents, tell your parents, tell everyone. Do not get on the phone and say yes to anyone. Do not say yes. Do not say no. Make it a long, drawn out statement about what you want to say in regards to confirming or deferring or confirming or negating something. Do not say yes or no. This scam has been going on, and that's how that they found out, because a lot of people have been arguing this point that they found that a lot of people over 8,000 people over the age of 115 are still getting paid. Guess what? Those are scammers, y'all. They're scammers. So they found something. This is something that we as a people need to go and talk to our family members so they can get their money back and get paid, because a lot of people are getting their stuff stolen. It's an old, antiquated system. It needs to be fixed. But no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be the one that's going to sit back and say, well, okay, Doge found it, but, I'm not fixing to sit back and promote them because I don't like what they did. The Inspector General should have found it, and I'm pretty sure they would have found it. I'm glad it was brought to a point, but just as us as a people, make sure you talk to your parents, talk to your family members, and get their re-authentication with Social Security, as well as their money, to get their money back. So they're going to do that right. That's the only thing I had to say. Again, I am not supporting Doge. Don't get that twisted. It's just something I fact check, and I fact check everything I look up before I say something. And we need to get our family members. We need to talk to our family members, because Social Security is what we paid into, and we need to be taking care of that. This billionaire might not be, he does not have our best interests at heart. But at the same time, let's take care of that, that was something I think me and you, Marlon, I think we talked about. And before I had all the information, I brought it out, and I'm glad, we got to talk about it, before, so that I can sit back and say something else. But
Well,
we got to pick this.
guys, listen. What Danny just said. Even though we're 99.9% against what Elon Musk is doing, that gives you when we find something, when Danny researched something and finds something right that he did, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna let you know that too. All the more reason to join this station, because we're not biased one way or the other. We're gonna tell you if they do something right, we're gonna tell you about it. Okay? Well, no matter how much we don't like, we may not agree with them. If they do something right, we're gonna let you know that too. Like I said, all the more reason for you guys to get up off of Fox with all that fake news. Come on over here,
hit that like,
guys. Now listen, guys.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and that notification bell.
There it is. And guys, we appreciate you guys being with us on this Sunday. Hope everybody had a good Sunday. And with that being said, y'all, we love you guys. Until next time, y'all stay safe and y'all stay cool out there. All right? Peace.
Peace out.